Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Redo Month on Mystical Munchies. The no-bake cookies turned out really good last week when I actually paid attention to the boil, so now we're going to finish Redo Month on Mystical Munchies by heading back to the World of Warcraft New Flavors of Azeroth cookbook for the first drink we made on the segment, Lavacolada. And I'll apologize in advance in case you're hearing rattling. It's a nice day out and I wanted the windows open for a little fresh air, so you might hear the blinds rattling. But as this cookbook had stories, let's tell this one again. Going back to the Maelstrom. According to my buddy Gravy, if you find yourself surrounded by pools of molten lava, the best way to beat the heat is with a frozen drink. He swears by this refreshing beverage of his own creation. He should know. It's one of the most popular items he sells. I'm curious to see if I can make this recipe a bit thinner in the blender. There's a pretty good chance that the answer is no on that question, but I did need a drink for the month. Anyway, with that, the ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's head in that direction. One thing I like about this recipe is that the measurements are really easy. Cups all around except for one tablespoon measurement. So we need a cup each of frozen pineapple chunks, orange juice, let me see if I can get the laser pointer on it right there, a cup of whole strawberries, and I've got a couple different containers of those, a cup of coconut milk, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of grenadine syrup. That part's optional, but I am going to use it. They also suggest fresh pineapple for garnish, but we're not going to use that. And there's a tipsy version that you can make as well to replace half the orange juice with rum, but obviously we're not going to do that either. With that, let's move into the kitchen and start putting this recipe together. We've got the blender in shot. Hopefully we won't have the same mishaps that we have in the past, but I can never get this off. Plus I just trimmed my nails this morning, so I don't have my fingernails that I can use to help slice. But we're going to start off. I'm working on opening the orange juice right now off shot, in case you're wondering why we're just sitting here looking at the blender for about 10 seconds. So anyway, we're going to start off with a cup of orange juice. Which is most of that container. We'll pour that in. I'll put this back in the fridge while I figure out what to do with the rest of that. There's probably like 3 or 4 good swallows in there. And our cup of frozen pineapple chunks. Okay. Oh. I'll put like 1 or 2 more pieces in there. That should just about do it. I can probably get 1 more in there. Okay. We'll put those in. The measuring cup can go back to the table, as can actually this can go back as well, because I'll need that again in a minute. Pineapple, once I burp the air out, can go back in the freezer. We'll put the cover on the blender, and we'll see if we can make this go. We gotta hold that down presumably until... I should probably warn you as well, the blender is going to be fairly loud, so here's your 5-second warning before I start it again. This thing does not seem like it wants to cooperate today. grab the instructions here because it seems like it's taking its sweet time. Clearly we haven't figured out how to outsmart the blender. At least everything should be good to go. I don't know why it's not cooperating with me. There we go. Except now I'm hoping that the pineapple didn't thaw enough sitting in the... Actually, I'm going to put the strawberries back in the freezer so we don't run into the same problem. Because I have a hunch that because the pineapple sat in there, because the pineapple sat on the table, it had enough time between sitting on the table and being in here. It might have had enough time to thaw, so I'm going to try to head that off if I can. Come on. Really, Blender? You're not going to cooperate with me today? It was working for like 5 seconds, and now I haven't been able to get it to start pulsing again. There we go. Okay, that's probably about the consistency I want to be at, so I'm going to kill that for the time being. Actually, let me take a quick look at this. Okay, yeah. Whoa, easy does it. That's about where I want it to be, so I'm going to grab a couple of mugs that I've got over here, pour these off into roughly equal portions. That should about do. So I'll put the top container attachment back in place. I'll bring those out of shot for the time being, and then we'll bring the rest of the ingredients in. So we'll start off with getting ready for the second blend. Come on. So we need a cup of coconut milk. Pour that carefully. Okay. That can head over toward the dishes. And then the coconut milk can go back in the fridge. Now hopefully here's where the Here's hopefully we're putting the strawberries back in the freezer for at least a little bit. Oops, that's the pineapple chunks. Here are the strawberries. Hopefully we're not going to have too many problems with the strawberries melting. I've got another bag of frozen strawberries in here. There's my other bag of whole strawberries. I'm trying to break them up a little bit. Okay. That looks like it's plenty of strawberries. So we'll put those in. And then we are using the grenadine syrup, so got the grenadine right here. I've got my 2 tablespoon measuring container, or measuring spoon. Pour this over the top. All right, that can go in the dishes. The grenadine syrup can go back up. All right, oop. That goes the other way, Phoenix. There we are. Let's try this again, shall we? So note to self, when I go to use the blender, I should probably warm it up for a few minutes before I actually hit it. All right, let me come over the top and take a quick look at this just so I can see what consistency we're at. See if I can mix that up just a little bit more. It looks like we got most of the strawberries blended in there, so I can probably go ahead and pour this off now. Bring the 2 mugs back in shot. I will actually shut that off. And like I said, we're going to pour this off, also into the roughly 2 equal portions. Okay, maybe a little more in here. You seem like they're mostly filled to the brim. I can move that over to the dishes as well. We'll get the blender lid over. And then we'll move over to my desk for the taste test. At a glance, it definitely looks like the answer to the question of did this thin out in the blender at all is no. But let's go ahead and give it a taste test, and see what I think if anything's changed. It's definitely really good to me. I like things that are a little bit more on the citrusy side as far as like your fruits, your drinks, what have you. Definitely not alcoholic, so I'm not using the rum. The only reason I used this one as a redo is because I was, like I said, I was a little bit curious about it. I didn't consider it botched the first time, but I did need a drink recipe for this month because there was enough of the other botches on Mystical Munchies that I was like, okay, I'm ready to do a redo month and I needed a drink just to kind of round it out. So that's it for this episode of Mystical Munchies. We're not quite done yet, however, because I just got a delivery in from Amazon this morning, and that's waiting for us over at the table. The reason we're doing this product unboxing at the table and not in the game room is because I've got something set up in the game room that I'm hoping to get to later tonight before the end of September recap. So let's get into this product, this delivery from Amazon that I got just this morning, and see what we've got in here. Looks like it didn't slide. There we go. Alright, so in here, the first thing we see is that we've got a bunch of little wooden blocks. It should be a 300 count of those. The reason I needed these is because I'm actually working on getting my counters printed out for the Historic Wings games. I'm having a set, at least for Mag-23 Guadalcanal 3D printed, but I don't think those... Actually, I'm having Mag-23 Guadalcanal and Tally-Ho done, but I don't think the counters for Guadalcanal are going to be ready in time. So, I'm going to do another print, and hopefully they'll fit on here. But this is going to be the backup plan, since I know those won't be ready in time. Then in here, next thing we see is we've got a pack of 25 Valbox document mailers. So what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping I'll be able to fit hoping I'll be able to fit both of these books. I don't think these are actually going to fit. No, probably not. So I'll have to stop off. That's unfortunate that they won't fit properly, but nothing I can do on that front at this point. I'll have to stop off at like Office Max or Office Depot or something, but that'll probably be a while before I need that. As a reminder, if you're watching this video and you're not subbed to the channel, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Then go find the 400th video where I talk about the giveaway for Mag-23 Guadalcanal along with a logbook. Leave a like on the video and a comment on that video detailing A, if you're interested in being entered in the giveaway, and B, a game that I've unboxed on the channel, whether a delivery unboxing or something I've gone deep on, indicating that you want to see played on the channel, and you may get to see that in December when I'm expecting a content explosion. But we can get those out of shot, and the last thing we've got here is the Elder Scrolls Official Cookbook, Recipes from Skyrim, Morrowind, and Across Tamriel by Chelsea Munro Castle, from the best-selling author of World of Warcraft Official Cookbook and A Feast of Ice and Fire, the official Game of Thrones companion cookbook. So we've got more recipes here that I can sink my teeth into for Mystical Munchies. Just a quick look at the back of that. But that is it for this episode of Mystical Munchies. Next week we'll be in a new cookbook, but I'll have details on that later this evening during the end of September recap. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.